I wanted to talk to you about something, and it's this: why younger women are often attracted to older men. This, of course, came about in a big way with my fifth marriage to Kitty Howard, Katherine. Now, she was 17 when I met her, and I was 50. A vast age difference. She was also tiny. She was about 4 feet 11 inches tall, and I was 6 feet 2. She weighed about 6.5 stones soaking wet. And at this stage of my life, I weighed about 27 stones. You might think that this would make our marriage absolutely wrong from the start, but you are incorrect. I have to tell you now that I was gripped by something that we might describe as a crisis a man has in middle age. Obviously, at 50, I am in my dotage now, and I am coming towards the end of my life, and I want someone who's going to make me happy and smile every day, and just to sit back and watch her dance and to hear her sing. I mean, she wasn't the cleverest tool in the box by any stretch of the imagination. She could barely read or write. But do you want a woman to do that when she can dance the way she does and the way she sounds when she sings and her beautiful melodic little voice? Kitty was a good-looking woman, and she rejuvenated me. She made me love life again. I had stopped composing music. I had certainly stopped dancing. I didn't hunt properly. I didn't ride. She made me do all these things again. And I wanted to show her that I was still powerful enough and virile enough to achieve these things for her. So she turned my life around. And I was very grateful for this. And in the 2 years that we were together, I can say without fear of contradiction that she made me happier than any of the other 4 that went before her. Now, why does a young girl want to marry a king? Well, of course, there is machinations behind the scenes from the Howard family. They were desperate to get another shot at the queenly title, as it were. She was a cousin to Anne Boleyn, so the Boleyns and the Howards were thick as thieves. So there was political machination. There's also the simple fact that sometimes an older man can be a father figure to a young girl. An older man with his experience, and in my case, vast experience, with ladies, gives them something that younger men just can't achieve. And of course, I'm the king. And this beautiful, frail 17-year-old girl was my queen. The most powerful woman possibly in Christendom. And the court danced to her attendance. They danced to her tune. They did what she said, and I sat back and let her do it. For those 2 years. Then came her downfall. And my word, it was rapid. If you're going to cheat on someone, just make sure you're not cheating on the most powerful man in Christendom. Because by God, I will have my revenge. And that's what I did. I took Dereham and Culpeper to the Tower. They were held at Tyburn first. And we threatened them with a racking unless they made a confession. They wouldn't confess. They both said, "Sire, it's not our fault. She was the queen. She ordered us to sleep with her. We were only obeying orders." When did we ever believe that nonsense? We executed them. This was all within the space of 2 weeks. And then she followed. I had their heads mounted on spikes on London Bridge. Pour encourager les autres, as the French say, to encourage the others not to do this sort of thing. And when we sailed her up the barge, I gave instructions to the jailers to make sure that they showed her the heads. So they held this 19-year-old girl by the ears and made her look at the severed heads of her lovers, as if to say, they got it and you're next. There's all manner of nonsense about hauntings where at Hampton Court she ran the length of a gallery, the long gallery, to appeal to my better nature. But I'd gone. It's nonsense. I wasn't even in the palace. The minute I got the note, which I found on my pew in church, that she was having an affair behind my back, I was out of there. And her days were numbered. I think from the finding of the note to the trial and the execution, 13 days. It just shows you that if you please the king, you can stay with him and have a comfortable life. If you displease the king, you end up about 8 inches shorter by the end of the day than when you woke up. Do you get my drift?